Hey guys, what's up? It's Savannah. Welcome back to another episode of My Thoughts Exactly. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today. If you're new here, hi, my name is Savannah. I'm your host of My Thoughts Exactly. And before we get started, make sure you go ahead, hit that subscribe button. That way you never miss an episode. We post weekly here on the podcast every single Friday. You're not going to want to miss it. We also upload the video version onto YouTube on Fridays as well. So make sure you are subscribed. And with that being said, you guys, happy Friday. I hope you all have had a great week so far. No, that's not what we say here. Sorry, I just got done filming Killer Instinct. I'm all over the place. I hope you all have had a great week. And if you haven't, guess what? It's Friday. It's the weekend. You made it. You did it. Happy Friday, you guys. I am currently in Anaheim at the time that you hear this. I'm doing VidCon. I have the live podcast on Friday. I'm very excited about it. We're doing a live Killer Instinct. I don't know if I've talked to you guys about it here, but I did talk about it on Killer Instinct and Patreon. But I'm going to VidCon. The last time I was at VidCon was probably 2018 or 2019 or something like that. And it was when I was only doing lifestyle content. And I remember I went there for an interview, and on the way there, I got into a car accident, and then I was late, but I got there anyways. And then I drove home. It was, it was a time, but I'm very excited to go back and just see what it's like. I haven't been in so long, and it's going to be fun. I'm excited. I go on Thursday. So yeah, like I said, by the time you guys hear this, I'm already going to be there, and I'm only staying for one night. And then after my podcast, I'm getting on a plane and heading back here. So that's what I'm doing right now as you're listening to this, or if you're listening on Saturday, then I'm already home. You get the gist, you get the point. I'm very excited to be here today because I just miss you guys, and I want to chit chat, and I want to answer your questions. I just want to talk about the things that you guys want to talk about. Let's talk about what's going on, or what you want to know, or what is happening in life. I asked you guys on Instagram, what questions do you have? What do you want to talk about? What are you wanting to hear from me? And I got some good responses. You guys definitely had a lot to say. So we're just going to run through it, and we're just going to talk, and we're going to chit chat. So let's do it. What is your opinion on the uprise in plastic surgery and its normalization? Okay, so starting off hot. My opinion, this is my take, okay? My take, my opinion. These are my thoughts. It's my thoughts exactly. These are my thoughts. My take on plastic surgery and the uprise or its normalization is I think that anyone is allowed to do whatever they want with their bodies. I think that if you want to do something to you that's going to make you feel better, that's going to enhance your confidence, if it's, whatever you want to do, if it's wherever it is, whatever you want to do, just do it. I don't care. I do think, however, with the, if there is more plastic surgery, which I don't even know if I would say that there's like an uprise in plastic surgery or a normalization in plastic surgery. I just think people are talking about it more, which personally I don't think is a bad thing. I think the more transparency we have around plastic surgery is a good thing. I think that is like the direction that we need to lean into. I think where it becomes an issue is when everyone's getting plastic surgery and no one's talking about it, and you're having these unrealistic beauty standards that people are trying to obtain when it's just not possible because it wasn't even possible for that person. Therefore, they had to go get plastic surgery. You get what I'm saying? I think whatever you want to do. And I know like Kylie Jenner really like sparked a conversation because she was very transparent about her boob job. And like, I love that for her. I think that it's great. I don't get the hate or shame around like making people feel bad for plastic surgery they're getting when they're being transparent about it. I don't get it, like, period, but especially if they're being transparent about it and they're coming out and they're like, yeah, I got this done. This is the recovery, or this is what I liked. This is what I didn't like. This was the process. This is the doctor. This is the cost. Like, that is what we want. I feel like we can't force people to be transparent, or we can't ask people to be transparent, or creators or influencers for transparency. And then when they are transparent, just like, it's kind of like then slap them across the face and be like, why did you do that? This is horrible. I would never do that. You're changing. You're this, you're that. People evolve. People change. And guess what? If people want to change their appearance, that's okay. If they want to alter it a little bit, that's okay. You want to get a boob job? Get a boob job. You want to get a little lipo? Get a little lipo. You want a little filler? Get filler. If it makes you feel better, then I think there's no issue with it. Who am I to tell someone, don't get an upper bluff? Like, I'm not going to do that. I think coming out and saying like, this is what I'm getting, this is the procedures that I've had done, and openly talking about it, I think that that's amazing. All we've been asking, I feel like as a society, for influencers or towards celebrities is for them to at least be transparent about what they've got done. And I feel like now people are starting to be transparent, and now we're kind of like, well, why'd you do that? And now we're having like a new issue. It's like, pick your battles. People are obviously going to get plastic surgery. Would you rather know about it and be able to say, okay, this is what they did to get the result that they have? Or would you rather be mad about the fact that people are forcing unrealistic beauty standards upon society and not being transparent about the stuff that they've had done? I think transparency is the way to go with this stuff. I think that it's the healthiest way to go about it. And I think that, I don't think we're like seeing an uprise in plastic surgery. I think we're just seeing more conversations around it and more transparency around it, which again, I think is the way to go. So those are my thoughts on that. I didn't expect to go on a little rant there, but hopefully you get what I'm saying. Okay. We want wedding updates. There's a lot of this. Wedding updates, wedding life updates. What are the wedding updates? So there really isn't much wedding updates. I don't think that I have. We're now kind of getting into the point where we're talking about rentals and what we want the reception to look like, design decks, colors, that kind of stuff. Here's the thing, you guys. I am very blessed to have a mom who has an eye like no other. My mom, when it comes to interior design, is unreal. Like the things that she puts together, the eye in which she has for things, I'm floored every time. And it's one of the things where she's always like, do you not see that? Or like, do you not have that? I'm like, no, I actually don't. I don't have that skill. I was not blessed with those genes. She gave me a lot of great things. Her interior design eye was not one of them. And so I really have been kind of letting her take the reins on this because she knows way better than I do about what's going to look good together, what colors will match, what this, what that. I obviously have my ideas and my opinions and I input those when necessary, but I definitely like kind of take a back seat when it comes to the design portion of everything, just because if it was up to me, you don't want it to be up to me, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Along with that, my mom and I also went to a cake tasting recently, which was really, really fun. That was a great day. We went to this place called, I believe it was Dessert Diva in Nashville, and we tried all these different types of cakes. And you guys, they had a sour cream cake, which I know you're probably sitting there gagging at the thought of that, but obviously it doesn't taste like sour cream. It tastes so good. It is light, it is airy, but it's dense. They were all pound cakes. Like it was unreal. I'm really hungry right now, and so thinking about that is not helping, but it was amazing. And we also have our official wedding tasting on July 1st. So we have the wedding tasting coming up with our venue, and we're going to sit down and do all of that. I'm so excited for that. Hayden is obviously going to be there. My parents are going to be there, our wedding planner. We're doing it all with them. And so I'm so stoked for that. That's something that's been in the works for a while. I have an additional bridal makeup trial. I was saying that there was no updates, and here I am just like laundry listing off all of this stuff. We have an additional bridal makeup trial because I did have one done already, because here was the issue, but there's no issue, but here's the gist of it all. So I found a bridal makeup artist on Instagram months ago. I think it was like a month after I got engaged. I was like, this is the date that I'm thinking, like, can you do it? And she was like, yeah, I can do it. And so I was like, perfect. So I booked her. And then I realized like, okay, if I have bridesmaids, which is what we're obviously thinking of doing, but that's a whole other conversation in and of itself, which I will get to. But we were thinking, okay, like how is it going to work with how many people this one girl can do versus, do we need to hire another team of people to come in? And so we found this company that does hair and makeup, like, together, which is great because then they can come in and do bridesmaids and like my mom and Hayden's mom and, the people that are going to get their hair and makeup done. It's almost like a one-stop shop, which there are a lot of places that do that. A lot of companies specialize in bridal and bridesmaids hair and makeup, and they come in and they just like do it all, and it's bada bing, bada boom, all good, all done. And so we are also doing that. So we have my makeup girl and then this other company that we hired. And I'm so excited because the company that we hired is actually the same company that did my oldest sister's like did all of that for her wedding. So it's going to be great. And when I went in for my hair trial, the girl was actually doing my makeup as well. And I was like, well, I might as well just test it out and see if I like the way she does my makeup and while she's doing my hair, because it was like all included in the package that I got. And so I had her do my hair and my makeup, which I loved it. But I was like, okay, I also have, my other girl who I initially booked with, like, let's obviously go through her makeup trial too. And I have a feeling that the way that this is going to square out is I'm going to have my original makeup girl do my makeup, and then the girl from the other company that we hired do my hair, and then the team that they bring, the separate company brings, sorry if this is making absolutely no sense, go and do everyone else's hair and makeup that is going to get it done. So bridal makeup trial on the 27th of June. Super excited about that. And then for bridesmaids, right now we're just kind of in the conversation of how I want the bridesmaids and the groomsmen to participate in the ceremony. At first it was like, okay, we're not going to do bridesmaids, groomsmen walking down the aisle. They're just going to be sitting, and we're just going to have like our siblings standing up with us. And then it was like, okay, well, the ceremony space that we're considering, because there's multiple throughout the property, the one that we're considering that we really love, it's really small and there might not be enough room. So maybe it would be better to have, the bridesmaids and groomsmen stand. That way leaves more space for the ceremony for other guests to be able to sit. But then it's like, okay, I don't really want that. Like, that's not the vision that I had in my head. So now we're reconsidering other ceremony spaces. So there's a lot going on. It's a lot of moving parts, but it's all good things. It's all coming together, and I'm really starting to see the vision, and it's becoming so real. I can't wait for my first dress fitting. I don't know, you guys. Let's just like real talk for a sec. I love the dress that I chose, like my wedding dress, but I haven't tried it on in so long that I'm almost like, wait a second, like, do I even still like it? Like, did anyone else have that? Like, because I'm sitting here and I'm like seeing all these dresses on TikTok, and I'm like, wait, I really like that one. I really like that one. That's so pretty. Oh my God. And then I'm like forgetting, like, no, Savannah, you chose your dress for a reason. And I think I'm also psyching myself out because we tried my dress initially. I think I like told you guys the whole story of this, but we tried my dress initially at a bridal boutique here in Nashville. And then we went out to New York and went to Kleinfeld and a couple other bridal shops there. And we ended up buying the dress from Kleinfeld because it turned me into like a legacy, or my family, whatever. It's like, it's not, but like, that's what they say, because my mom also got her dress from Kleinfeld. So it was like, my mom got her dress from Kleinfeld. I'm getting my dress from Kleinfeld, and Kleinfeld is just iconic. So I was like, we just have to do it. Like, let's just do it. But I will say I liked my dress better on me at the initial place, like at the initial, like the Nashville boutique that we tried it on, rather than Kleinfeld. I don't know why, but that is sticking with me. And I'm like, was it even the same dress? It looked different. It was almost like, I don't know if it was the lighting. I don't know. But I keep going back to the video that I have of my dress in that original Nashville boutique. And I keep looking at it and I'm like, no, I love it. I do love it. I love it so much. It's so me. It's so perfect. But like, does anyone else have these moments of like, I haven't seen my dress in so long. Like, am I even going to still like it? That's what's stressing me out. So I feel like once I have my initial dress fitting, I'll feel so much better. And then I have a reception dress, and that's a whole other ball game. So there's a lot of moving parts. I do need to figure out like the bridesmaids, what is it? What is it? Oh, just like outfits. Like, what shoes are they going to wear? What accessories, jewelry, silver, gold, clear, nude, like all of the things. That's what I'm figuring out next. So that is my next task. But those other things that I just mentioned are all top of mind as well. Hayden and I are also doing like a photo shoot kind of deal on like kind of mid-July-ish. And I'm so excited for it because the initial engagement shoot that we did, it was very different than like what our wedding vibe is. Our wedding is like more Southern vibes, it's kind of like elevated backyard wedding in a way. It's probably not a great way to like put it, but that's kind of what we're like. I don't know. It's just, I don't know how to put it, but it's not city vibes, I guess. And our engagement photos were definitely city vibes. We did downtown Nashville, we did Union Station, we did a couple different hotels, and I posted some of the pictures on Instagram, and I loved how the pictures came out, but again, they're just not really the vibe that we're going for anymore. So we have another shoot coming up mid-July, and I'm really excited about it because I feel like this is going to be able to encapsulate what our wedding is wanting, like the feel that we're going to want to encapsulate for the wedding as well, now that we're getting closer to the wedding. I kind of just want to tell you guys the wedding date. Should I do that? Are we going to drop it? Oh, I don't know. Now I'm scared. Do I do it? It's not that big of a deal. Should I just do it? No, we'll wait. No. Ugh. I'm not going to tease you like that. I'm getting married on October 4th. Okay. I'm getting married on October 4th and I'm very excited about it. I can't wait. I'm so excited. But yeah, I feel like now that we're getting closer to the wedding, like it's crunch time, you guys. Like it is time to lock the F in on all facets, like gym, skin, hair, like we got to lock in. And so now I'm like, okay, it's crunch time. But as I was saying, now that we're getting closer to the wedding, I feel like I have a better vibe and feel of like what I want to encapsulate feelings wise. And I just don't feel like the engagement photos give that same feeling. So we're doing another shoot mid-July. And it's going to help. I think we're also going to take those and possibly do like a guest book with them. And they're also just good to have. Like Hayden and I have no pictures together. We have none, like no pictures. We were trying to do like the wedding website and everything. And my mom was like, do you guys have pictures together? Like it'd be cute to put them on the wedding website. And I was like, no, we literally have none, like quite literally. Zero, zilt. So any pictures that we can get, I think would be great. And just to have like for memories. And I want to like remember this time being engaged, you know, and I just want to encapsulate that in the photos as well. So I'm super, super excited about that. Yeah. Now you guys know when I'm getting married. It's great. Okay. Moving on. All right. I missed the music videos where you would share what you're listening to. Okay. Yes. The playlist videos. The playlist videos are coming back. The Drive With Me's are coming back. I know I keep saying that, but trust me when I say that they are, sooner rather than later. And if I could give you a couple like just top songs that I'm listening to right now, let's go into Spotify. I loved Morgan Wallen's new album. I'm not going to lie. TN and Dark Till Daylight were my favorites. Twilight Zone, Ariana Grande. Oh, Just In Case by Morgan Wallen's a good one too. Lose Me Like You Mean It by Daniel Seavey. Seavey. Incredible song. Incredible. It's probably one of my favorites right now. Loved Miss Tate McRae. Love Miss Sabrina Carpenter. Love Miss Addison Rae. They're eating it up right now. Last Night's Mascara. Obsessed with that song. Those are kind of the ones that I'm listening to right now. But yeah, I go through phases when it comes to like music and what I like to listen to on my drives. Right now I'm in a phase where I just like to call people. Like I'll call my mom, I'll call Jackson, I'll call my dad, I'll call Hayden, I'll do voice memos to my friends. Like I'm just kind of in a yappy mood lately. As you can freaking tell, we're like 3 questions in and already 17 minutes in. I just can't shut up. So I've just been kind of in a yapping mood and I'm just talking to people more than I'm listening to anything, which I probably should start listening more, but those are kind of my go-tos right now. Okay, next one. Plans for the future. Are you going to be moving houses, kids, pets? Question mark. Plans for the future. Well, first of all, the plan is to just get married right now. That's like the first plan. Once we do that, then we can like think about everything else. But to answer your question, as far as moving goes, so Hayden and I have been in this house for almost 3 years now, and I absolutely love where it's located. Our location is top notch. We will never beat this location in terms of being so central to the city and in such a safe area in a very like close to town, walkable location. So I absolutely love where we're living. I'm just obsessed with it. However, I definitely am yearning for more of like, I don't even want to say suburbia, but just land, just space, just acres. I'm right now, Hayden and I are trying to decide if we want to go one of two ways. And I feel like this is just kind of where we're at with, it just is going to have to decide. I don't know what it's going to be dependent on, truthfully. But basically, once we move, it's either going to be, oh, it's raining outside. Once we move, it's either going to be more of a, like a, house in a neighborhood kind of situation with neighbors, and I can walk around the block. And that's like something that I did growing up that I loved. I have so many memories with my mom just like walking the neighborhood, and it was just like an activity that we did. And I feel like as I get into the years of, closer, or as I get closer to the years of having kids and stuff, I do think that that's important. Just having that sense of community as well. However, Hayden and I are also the type where it's like we would be so fine living in like the middle of nowhere with just a bunch of land. So just trying to figure out what we lean towards most is going to just be dependent on what we find at the time, and what is meant to be will be. And we will find the house that we're meant to have. And I'm fully believe that. And I think it's all going to fall into place the way it needs to and is supposed to. And I'm just really excited for that to happen. We are going to probably start looking at moving in a little under a year. We'll probably start the beginning of next year is when we're going to start looking. So it's kind of crazy. Like I had this conversation with Hayden and I was like, we really need to take advantage of where we're living right now. Like we need to be walking everywhere. We need to like totally take advantage of the street that we're on and the neighborhood that we're so close to. And I just love it so much. However, I think we are outgrowing this house, and, between Hayden and I and church and just some outside living situation factors that we're finding with this house, it is kind of a little bit more difficult to see us being here in the future when we talk about like starting families or having more pets. Like I would love to get another dog. It is not in the cards right now with the house that we're in. It's not even that the size of the house isn't big enough, because it's just more so the yard space that we have. It just wouldn't be fair for church or another dog to put two of them in the back, which I'm sure church would love it because church loves any and everything that is breathing. But I just think that for the sake of everyone, Hayden and I's sanity, church, and a new dog, because we would also want to get a bigger dog as well. Another big dog, either another Bernese or I don't know, Great Pyrenees or Newfoundland or something along those lines. Because we love big dogs. We're a big dog family through and through. And I just think that because of that, and for kid reasons as well, like we can't have another dog and then start having kids in this house. It's just too much. So we will be moving at some point in 2026, and I'm very, very excited for that journey as well. And that will definitely be one that I take you guys on. So stay tuned for that. And then again, yeah, as far as kids, I mean, it's definitely, I want to get through the wedding. Please let me get through the wedding. And then I don't know. I really have no thoughts. I would be, it'll be a God's timing kind of thing. Whatever's meant to happen will happen. And I'm just very excited for that chapter of life. I've always kind of felt that one of my purposes on earth will always be being a mom, and I'm not even a mom yet. I have church, but that's different. And I just feel like it's one of those things that I was made to do. And I'm just really excited for that stage of life, but I'm also very content and happy with where I'm at right now. So yes to kids in the future. And I don't really have a strict timeline on it, but I would like to wait at least a year. Okay, moving on. What did you not expect with wedding planning? What is the easiest and what is the hardest? I would say I didn't expect how detail oriented everything was. I have said this to so many people, but I just kind of thought wedding planning was like, okay, pick a venue, pick a caterer, pick a planner, pick a dress, pick a bridesmaid's dress, pick a color, and you're good to go. No, there are so many details that go into planning a wedding. It is absolutely crazy, down to the type of linens and fabrics, the type of silverware, the type of chair color, the type of napkin color, the font that goes on the save the dates, the font that goes on the invites. What wording do you want on the invites? You have to figure out what you want it to say. Are you going to do an RSVP card? Are you not going to do an RSVP card? Are you going to do RSVP online? What kind of dinner are you having? Is it plated? Is it French serve? Is it buffet? There are so many different things that you have to think about when it comes to a wedding. And it is such a privilege to be able to have a wedding. And I feel so grateful to be in a space where like I can have a wedding that I'm falling in love with and I'm so excited about. But the details that go into it are crazy. I'm not going to lie. What kind of tent do you want? Is it going to be sailcloth? Is it going to be clear? Is it going to be I don't know, one of the other ones. Like is it going to be a tent, or is it going to be like a structure? Is it, who's going to marry you? Or are you going to do your vows? Are you going to write your vows? Are you going to say your vows in front of everyone? Or are you going to do a first look? We are not doing a first look. And that's something that I'm really happy about. I don't want to do a first look. I want Hayden to see me coming down the aisle and cry. So that's what I want. But yeah, I would say the hardest and just most unexpected was the fact that there's details that go in to everything. It truthfully is like, it's just crazy. It's so crazy. And then I would say the easiest is, my mom and I work really well together. Hayden's been very easy to work with on all of this. He's just very much like, whatever you want and we'll go with it. Other than that, we have a great planner. I mean, it has been a very easy process, but it's just been a very detailed oriented process, which was something I was not expecting. Okay, moving on. Let's keep going. Current reads. I am not reading anything at this current moment, but I just don't even feel like I have the time to right now with wedding stuff and everything. But I love any Frida McFadden book. Is it Frida McFadden? Hold on. It's like the housemaids watching Frida. Yeah, Frida McFadden books, love those. Colleen Hoover books, love those. I'm a sucker for like an easy read, romance, thriller, mystery. Shocking. Me with a true crime podcast. I love mystery. Are we shocked? No. But yeah, those are like the books that I love. I loved all of like the Housemaid series. I love Verity. I need to get back into books. If you have any good books that you recommend, let me know, because I would love to be able to get back into reading this summer. Okay, next one. What are your favorite summertime activities? Few and far between, my friend. I don't have many. I would say right now the activities that I'm really just digging into are going to the gym. I don't know if that's an activity, but I'm making it one. I've been going to the gym a lot. Pilates has been something that I've been loving. Along with that, I've also been I don't know, summertime activities, going for walks. I like walking. I also don't really like a hike, but like an easy hike, I guess, is fine. Going to a winery. Honestly, truthfully, here's my favorite summertime activity. Sitting on a patio with a glass of white wine. That is my favorite summertime activity. I could do that all day, every day. I realized in the summer how much more wine I consume, and it is borderline concerning. It's not, but like for someone who doesn't drink a lot, then when the summer, or when the temperature creeps above 75, I'm like, this calls for a glass of Sauvignon Blanc. I need a Pinot Grigio. I need a white wine spritz. That is my favorite summertime activity. Sitting on a patio with a glass of white wine and yapping. That is it. I love that. I could do it every day. And in the summer, sometimes I do. And I don't regret it. I really love it. It is so fun and relaxing. And it's what summer is about. Yeah, throw away my answers about hiking. I don't care about hiking. I like to go for a walk here and there. But if I had to choose, I'm definitely choosing the patio with the white wine. I love going to restaurants. I love eating. I love just trying new food and new restaurants. And there's so many in Nashville. So I've just been obsessed with that. And then I turned it into a fun activity because there's this app called Belly. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. This sounds like a sponsor. It's not, but it's essentially where you rate all of the restaurants that you've ever been to. And my family and I have all gotten into this, and now we're obsessed with it. And we love rating the restaurants, and we love going to new restaurants. That way we can rate it on the Belly app, and it just lines everything up. There's no point in it really, but it's really cool to kind of see where you've been, what you like, what other people have been to, what they like. It's BELI is the name of the app. So if that's something that you guys want to check out, you definitely should, because it makes trying restaurants fun. It's almost like you're a little food critic, and it's just like a fun little side hustle, I feel. So I would do that. That's one of my favorite summertime activities. Okay. Love Island opinion. You guys, I could go on and on. My opinions on Love Island. So if you don't know, the new season of Love Island aired about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. I think we're on episode 13. I watched episode 13 last night, which was Hurricane Huda. It was a crash out. It was a big one. So that's where I am in the season. Episode 13. By the time you guys listen to this, we're probably a couple episodes ahead. So I do not know where we're going to be at the time you guys hear this. My overall consensus, my blanket statement, this season is so messy, and I am so here for it. We're going to run it through. We're just going to run it back. I'm going to talk about all of my thoughts. And I don't think, do I want to start with Huda? Do we want to start with Hurricane Huda? Let's go down the list for a second. My top favorite, I love Alandria. I think Alandria is the realest one in that house. I think that she can say or do no wrong. Everything she says, I'm like, yes, you get it. Like, the emotional maturity is 10 out of 10. Also, mind you, she is stunning. Literally supermodel status. I don't think I've ever seen a prettier person in my life. She is stunning. Her body is unreal. And it makes me mad for her because I feel like with Taylor, I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand how Taylor is the way that he is towards Alandria. I don't get what's going on here. I don't know if he just does not like her, which, like, I can't force him to. Do I think it's absolutely batshit backwards and crazy? Yes, if that were to be the case. But if he doesn't like her, he doesn't like her. But I think it's weird that I don't know. I don't want to like knock someone for being a slow burn, but it's more than a slow burn to me. It's just showing uninterested. It's showing no effort. It's showing low effort. How Ace has come in and like run this island like a military base, and he seems to be very sound-minded. I'm actually very shocked that I think he might be the youngest person in there. He's 22. The way that he's talking about things shows a level of emotional maturity that I was not expecting. However, he's also not taking his own advice. I think that Ace is very much like, I don't know. I don't think Ace is there for love. I think Ace is there to just play the game. He's 22. He's just like in it to be in it. And I think he's just enjoying his time there. But I think that there is something to be said about the fact that like he clearly knows what he's talking about in terms of like other people's relationships. And when I say know what he's talking about, I think it's more so just like he comes from a perspective of like just being a realist. And I think that he comes from a logical perspective and a certain emotional intelligence. And he's kind of saying what we all want him to say. I know everyone right now is like Ace is the enemy, but he's also like, he's like the realest person in the house. And I do understand that. I don't think that Ace is the enemy though. I really don't. The whole thing with Amaya, I think he was crazy for. I don't understand what happened. I have many theories on the Ace and Amaya situation. So when we talk about Ace and Amaya, I think one of two things happened. One of three things. One, the producers told Ace to pick Amaya. That's number one. Two, I think that Ace could have been really thrown off by like the Jeremiah Huda situation, how close they got, how quickly they got so close. And clearly we know he has a problem with it. He's been very vocal about it. I think that he could have been worried that if he chose Shelly, there would have been some expectation that they would be completely closed off and that would be it. And it kind of goes against the whole experiment of Love Island, which is exploring your options, talking to different people. And if he were to land with Shelly right off the jump, he would have stayed with Shelly, sorry, can't talk, the whole time. And I think that maybe he just wasn't ready for that. And the third option here is that he was choosing Amaya in order to get a rise out of Shelly and in order to try and get Shelly to react and pull Shelly closer to him in his 22-year-old, backwards way of thinking that maybe that this would make Shelly like him more. But the thing about it is that Shelly is also my favorite, by the way, and she is so emotionally mature and she doesn't deal with that shit. She does not deal with it. And Austin clocked it from the get-go. He said, this is not the type of girl that's going to chase you. And he's right. Shelly is not chasing Ace. And I think that that's what's drawing Ace more to Shelly to begin with. Ace's whole, like, I have boundaries and like, I have, I don't like when people touch me, You can't say that and then go lick whipped cream or pie off of Shelly's chest, like, 24 hours later. You just can't. I mean, clearly you can, but then you're just going back on everything that you said because it's very clear that your boundaries are just with Amaya because you don't like her. I don't know what happened for Amaya to make Ace have the reaction that he did. I don't agree with it at all. I think he came off really strong. However, the thing with Amaya, here's my issue. My issue with Amaya is that similarly to Huda, their delivery and the way that they speak and the way that they get like so emotionally charged and their emotional reaction, it takes away from the logic of what they're saying. What Amaya was saying was not wrong. I don't agree with her coming at Shelly. However, I do understand where she's coming from when she was saying like, what is going on between you two? Because I talked to you and there was no issue or there was no connection or you didn't say that there was a connection, but now there clearly is a connection. You guys are doing little cutesy things. He's taking you on dates. What is going on? And I think that that's a fair thing to say, but it's because she got riled up about it and because she was, seemingly coming at Shelly pretty much, that the misplaced anger, it kind of discredited her entire point because now no one's thinking about what you actually said. They're just thinking about how you said it. Along with that, their whole thing, I saw this TikTok that's been going around. It's like Amaya and Ace with the Loathing song from Wicked. It is the funniest thing I've ever seen. So that's kind of like my consensus on Amaya and Ace. I do like Amaya. I think that she's grown on me, especially I feel like the past couple episodes she's been more of a girl's girl and she's like really riding for the girls, and I can really appreciate that. I really like Amaya, and I do think that she needs someone to like come in and like totally just sweep her off her feet. I think she deserves it. Again, I think for Ace and his mentality towards Amaya, I think it was one of the 3 theories that I mentioned. Clearly he does not like her anymore. He's still sleeping in soul ties, but he's on to other people. He's on to Shelly. He's on to Iris. We're moving on. Nick and Sierra right now, I'm very much neutral about. I don't really have anything to say. I think Nick is also very emotionally intelligent. I think that the way that he was able to clock Jeremiah in this last episode and kind of check him and be like, you said that you liked Huda. You said that you have, you care about Huda. You and Huda have been locked in since day one. And then something goes sideways. And, when the pressure gets applied, then you back away and you're kind of like hands off. And that's a shitty thing to do. I am not Huda's biggest fan, but that was a shitty thing to do. For Jeremiah to just be like, I don't want to deal with it. Like, I couldn't deal with it. I can understand being overwhelmed and not being able to like tend to other people when you don't even know how you're feeling yourself, but you need to communicate that. You need to say like, I'm so sorry for what you're dealing with right now. I just need a moment to kind of process everything that just happened, and then we can come back and have a conversation. You at least have to check in. And because there was no checking in, it just made it seem like he truthfully did not give a fuck. So there's that part of it as well. Let's talk about Huda. Every time I watch a little TikTok recap of Love Island, I just want them to talk about Huda because I have so many thoughts about Huda. Here's the thing. I think it's also important to remember before I get into all of this that these are real people. And even though they sign up for this, the amount of bullying and backlash that can come with, a reality TV show on the, status that Love Island is on, I can't even imagine what she's going to come home to. And I'm like, truthfully, I think it's going to be a lot. And so I do think that she's kind of making her bed and laying in it at the same time. I don't know. Here's my issues with Huda. My first issue is I feel like she weaponizes being a mother. Sorry, I think she does. I think the picking and choosing when she wants to tell people, fine, but she's expecting her being a mother to come with privileges of being able to act the way that she does and get away with it. And I don't agree with that at all. I think that her saying that she's the most emotionally mature in the house is backwards. I don't agree with that whatsoever. You can't say things like that and then be the utmost not a girl's girl to ever exist. I think that once she feels like a girl is a threat, a girl is automatically a bitch. She doesn't trust them. She thinks they're weird, and she has a bunch of shit to say about it. And then when she realizes that the girl actually doesn't like Jeremiah, then it's we're sisters and we've created this bond and we're sisters for life and you're like in this group, and she is almost like put herself in this position of being the ruler of sisterhood in the villa. And she's like, I appoint you to now be a part of this sisterhood because you don't like Jeremiah. It just feels very childish, which a perfect example of this would be right now, or when Amaya came in. When Amaya came in, Huda was immediately like, I don't like her. She's a bitch, blah, 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 calling these girls everything under the sun, pretty much. And then when Amaya was like, oh yeah, I had a conversation with Jeremiah and he said that you two were like pretty much like just for each other, she was like, sister, like you're my sister. And it's like, what? And then she's doing the same thing with Iris now. Iris and Jeremiah, by the way, it wasn't their idea to go on a date, and it wasn't even Iris's idea to be paired up with Jeremiah. I don't even think she wanted that. And now Iris is a bitch. Iris is every name under the sun. Iris is the weird one. Iris isn't the girl's girl. And it's just weird. It's weird behavior, and it makes it really hard to defend her. Because while I'm sure there were, promises made along the way, Jeremiah was giving her validation and attention, and she felt a certain type of way about Jeremiah, it makes it really hard to defend Huda when she acts like that. It makes it really hard to want to like defend the girl in this situation, or be like, yeah, like ride or die for Huda, because like as a girl, we've all like, a lot of us I'm sure have experienced love bombing or experienced different things, or just experienced heartbreak in general. And it's really hard to defend her when all she's doing is talking badly about other people and talking badly to Jeremiah. Not saying that like some of it isn't deserved, but again, the way in which she's delivering this is really starting to like come off as just a little bit crazy. Like, sorry, she's coming off as crazy. She is. And if she just reeled it in a little bit, it would be easier to defend her. But because she's just going after everyone in such a way, which is really interesting if you think about it, because Ace and Nick were the ones who chose to vote her off the island. And she went to them with like, I'm so understanding. I'm so open to hearing what you have to say and da 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 da. I don't know what that was about. I don't know if it was because she knew that Ace and Nick were going to report back to Jeremiah and she wanted them to be like, oh yeah, she's cool, or oh yeah, she's this, and talk like positively about her. I don't know if she went that far into thinking about it. It's really hard to know how much of this manipulation is she's aware of versus how much of it is she's just doing it just to do it and she can't even stop herself. I also think she lies. I think we've seen time and time again that she has lied about different little things. The whole stupid pancake issue, how she said that Taylor swooped in and helped her make the pancake when in reality she asked Taylor to help her make the pancake. Along with that, when she said that, when she was like eavesdropping over the guys about their, Jeremiah talking about his date with Iris and then running off to tell the girls something completely different. She literally ran last night to the girls and said that Jeremiah said that he was going to leave Huda for Iris so that way he could use Iris as a scapegoat to stay on the show or win the show or something. He never said no such thing. Like, he did not say that, not once. And now you have me defending Jeremiah. What is happening? What is happening? Like, pull it together. I don't understand what is going on. And I don't understand the crash out. I really don't. And I saw someone make a good point. Like, truthfully, they're sitting on an island. They have no electronics. They have no contact with the outside world. They have no TV. They have no phone. They have no internet. They have no nothing other than each other. So connections are going to grow at a faster pace. However, it's only 10 days or 13 days at this point. And I know that they had to be, there's so many psych evaluations that go on prior to this. There's so much, screening that goes on with all of these people before they enter the villa to where, they're like, okay, yeah, you're good to go. Enter the villa and like, go enjoy your time. It just doesn't, I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand the crash out. I don't get it. And I don't get why she doesn't see what's happening. I really don't. When America chose to split up Huda and Jeremiah, her immediately saying that America, her victimizing herself in a way and being like, maybe America thinks I deserve better. Maybe America doesn't like me with Jeremiah. America, it wasn't, oh no, that's not even what she said. When Ariana asked her and she said, it's because Iris said that she likes Jeremiah. She immediately pointed to Iris. Again, it's not Iris's fault. Iris didn't do anything wrong. She came in as a bombshell doing what a bombshell does. It drives me absolutely mad. I don't get it. I don't get it. And again, it makes it really hard to defend her when all she's doing is calling people out of their name and having these major crash outs over someone she didn't know a month ago. Like, it's really hard to defend that. I understand that you really like the guy. I understand that maybe he like love bombed you, but I also understand that you have to have the common sense and logic enough to be able to separate that this is Love Island and that this is what this is, and that you cannot just go around calling people all sorts of names and speaking to people in such a way without thinking that you get any consequences about it. And I don't know if it's because, she's mentioning the whole mom thing as if it should excuse her behavior. And for example, the way that she's been doing that is by saying that when talking to Ace, the reason I'm moving the way that I am, the reason I'm acting the way that I do is because I'm a mother. When talking to Jeremiah, she goes, the reason I do this, the reason I do that, the reason I act the way that I am is because I'm a mother. You cannot use being a mother as an excuse to treat people like shit or to devalue other people's experiences because you feel like you deserve any sort of leverage in this because you're a mom. And so you feel like you deserve more in this. It's so backwards to me. I don't understand her logic behind it whatsoever. I need to stop before I get ahead of myself because I will keep going on this. As far as Hannah and Charlie, I loved them together, and I really don't think that Charlie deserved to go home. It made me really, really sad when Charlie went home, actually. I feel like Taylor needed to go home. I'm sorry, I said it. I really like Taylor. I think he's hilarious. I think he's so much fun, and I think he's really, really funny, but I don't even really think he's playing playing the game. I think he's just there just to be there. I think that now, because Jalen is applying pressure, now he's starting to like Alandria a little bit more, or at least he's starting to wake up a little bit more. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But I felt really bad when Charlie had to go home, even though Hannah kind of instigated that. I'm not going to lie. Hannah made the bed and now Charlie has to lie in it pretty much. And then who else was there? Austin. I'm overhearing Austin complain. I really am. At first, I kind of understood it, and now I don't. I feel like every time he pulls Shelly, all he's doing is complaining about how they're in a love triangle when he's not doing anything to try and get Shelly out of the love triangle. He's not doing anything that's leaning her more towards him rather than Ace. I think Austin and Amaya should be together. That's my personal opinion. I think that they both need to just like do their own thing and be together. For tonight's episode, there is a recoupling, and I'm very curious to see what happens. And so we'll have to keep up with that. But with that being said, you guys, I'm going to cut it off here because I will just keep rambling. This will be an hour episode of me talking about Love Island. That is all for me today. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of My Thoughts Exactly. Again, if you're new here, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you never miss an episode. I'll be back next week with a brand new one for you guys, and I'll see you then. Bye, guys.